Hey guys, this is Luke from the Idea Foundry talking to you this month about 3D printing. This is a topic that I love because it's both fun but also has a wide range of practical uses today. So what I want to talk about is the different types of 3D printers out there. There's over 10 different types of 3D printing processes. I'm going to focus on 5. 2 of those are going to be the main processes used by general makers, hobbyists, small business owners alike. And then the remaining 3 are going to be industrial processes that are really interesting and thought worth noting. First one I'm going to focus on is FDM printing. Fused deposition modeling printing was the first technology that the public got their hands on because the FDM patent expired in 2009. So the public has only been working with this technology for about 9 years now. It's a really simple, really widely used and affordable process where basically it takes a filament spool of thermoplastic filament, feeds it through this wire into this extruder head, and this extruder head melts that plastic down and deposits it layer by layer in a predetermined path that you designed on software. It works on a 3-axis system, X, Y, and Z as it raises up, and is, again, a very affordable way to print something relatively fast. You see, there's an Ultimaker behind me here too. That's another 3D printer we have in this space. It can get a little bit finer resolution than this one, and what I mean by that is the typical layer lines that you see from 3D printing. It is a process of, since these layers are kind of built up layer by layer, you actually still see those layers in the final product, so we can reduce those by the better the printer. So we have that one as well. We also have a MakerBot Replicator 2X, along with one SLA printer, which is the next printer that I want to talk about. We have a Formlabs 1 Plus. SLA stands for stereolithography, and it's a process that kind of pretty much solves that layer buildup problem that we had with FDM, because what it uses is a polymer liquid resin that is cured layer by layer using a UV laser beam. So instead of having hard plastic melted down, it starts as a liquid resin, and then a UV laser beam cures that in a predetermined path layer by layer, and it actually kind of draws it out of this resin tank, which is really cool. It's a more expensive process to run, but the end results are much higher resolution, which makes it really cool. So those are the 2 main ones for the hobbyist, for the small business owner and stuff. The SLA process is really great if you wanted to cast it, because you don't have to sand out those lines or do anything like that. You kind of have a final product, and it's great. The next process, which is the first industrial process I want to talk about, is selective laser sintering, or SLS. This process is very similar to SLA process, but instead of using a liquid polymer resin, it uses granular thermoplastic polymer, sort of like a powder bed. And a laser still cures that, but it cures it out of it uses a CO2 laser and cures those granular thermoplastic polymers. It creates really great final results too, and really high resolution. The next process I want to talk about is material jetting. This is an interesting process because it's the closest 3D printing process we have to 2D inkjet processes, where basically it deposits a liquid photosensitive material layer by layer, these really thin layers, and then uses a UV light to cure those in place. So it produces a really, really smooth finish, along with being really accurate in terms of its print dimensions and not warping or anything that other 3D printing processes can have. Now the last process is really cool that I want to talk about, and that is SLM printing, or DMLS printing, which is selective laser melting, or direct metal laser sintering. So these processes also use a laser, but instead of having a plastic that all the other processes have been using, some plastic or resin, it actually takes metal particles and like a powdered metal and then fuses that together using this laser, and your final 3D printing part is actually metal. Those are just a couple of processes that I wanted to talk about. Really cool end results with them all. Have a couple here. You can see this kind of deer. Here's an SLA print, fine kind of set piece there. There's also, we've printed food. We've printed body parts. There's a lot of 3D printing process going on. I encourage you to go online, read more. The open source community for 3D printing is awesome. People are just sharing what they do and how they do it everywhere. So if you're interested in 3D printing, come over to the Idea Foundry, take a class with me, learn how to use this task, or just go online and check out all the really cool open source software stuff that they have going on. So have a great day, guys. Thanks for checking in.